Welcome to the Author Friendly Podcast. This is your host, Carla King, and this is the 21st episode of the podcast. And I want to thank you all for your attention and your emails and your reviews on iTunes and the other podcast providers. As you've heard before, this podcast was inspired by my Consumer's Guide for Self-Publishers, which I obsessively update to make sure that you have current information on all the company's products, tools, and services you may be thinking about using for your self-publishing journey. And you can find that at authorfriendly.com or selfpubbootcamp.com. Just look for the friendly green bar at the top of the page and you'll get access to it immediately. If you need extra help, I have created a series of courses on every aspect of self-publishing. You can go to selfpubbootcampcourses.com. Now on to the podcast.
When a piece of paper goes through a digital printer, it's actually with a little bit of a static type charge goes through there, and that's what adheres the ink or the toner actually to the pages. And we had to spend a lot of time actually retrofitting our factory to make sure that we had the right electrical charge. I had no idea of this kind of stuff.
That's Stephen Spatz, president of BookBaby, also a published writer, marketer, BookBaby blog contributor, and even though he lives in New Jersey now, remains an avid Oregon Ducks fan. Stephen not only uncovers the mysteries of quality book printing, as you heard, but you'll learn about BookBaby's a la carte self-publishing services and their total do-it-for-you packages for plain text books and full-color books like children's books, cookbooks, travel books, and textbooks. We talk paper quality, trim sizes, bindings and covers, and the process of creating a book from editing to distribution to payment. BookBaby also creates ebooks, including the fixed layout ebooks that you may want if you are creating one of those more complicated books that need the fixed format for the iPad. And we talk about why it's for the iPad and not the Kindle Fire. I know a lot of authors who are interested in that and why it's difficult, so you'll find out in this episode. That and lots more. So please enjoy my conversation with BookBaby President Stephen Spatz. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to the Author Friendly Podcast.
Hello, Carla. Glad to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk with you about BookBaby. I know we'll talk about the organization of your company in the course of things, but we're focusing on bookbaby.com for people who want to follow along. Can you just orient us, like what kind of author comes to BookBaby and why?
Sure. I'm happy to say that so many different kinds of authors have discovered BookBaby, all the way from, first-time children's authors to people who have been refugee from traditional publishing. There's so many great options for authors in the self-publishing world, and we have a lot of worthy competitors out there, and we think highly of them, and they think highly of us. And so we all have established kind of our place in the industry. And where we do best with our self-published authors are those who really want a little help. Maybe they're brand new to the industry and they kind of want to get an education from us. On the other end of the spectrum, there are highly successful professional authors who have been traditionally and or self-published in the past, but you know what? They just want to write, and they want to let us handle the production work, the distribution work. They don't want to handle that. They just want to go in there and do their craft. So we're able to, really work with a big variety of authors, not just in the U.S., by the way. About 20% of our authors are from overseas, and they love to have access to the world's largest bookstore, which would be the United States.
That's right. Yeah. So you have complete self-publishing packages and one-off services. Why don't we start with that, banner, front page, complete self-publishing package. $16.99 crossed out, $14.99 is the,
That's right.
Now, so hurry.
Well, it's gonna be there for a while, so no worries there.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a tagline when we started BookBaby, and it was called, we make self-publishing easy, or self-publishing made easy, something like that. And after a few years of doing this, we sort of crossed that out, because really self-publishing is not really terribly easy. We make it easier for authors to go in. We help them with all this. So, and the complete self-publishing package sort of embodies how we feel about it. We only put things in there that we think authors really need. We didn't stick with a bunch of filler, a bunch of faux marketing services offering to Hollywood glamour producers or the Kardashians or things like
Thank
that.
you very
You know,
much.
we think it's, just stuff authors really need. Now, if they don't, we can pick and choose a la carte, but it's a wonderful starting point in the conversation for about probably 80% of our authors who are coming to us to, really get the kind of professional services. We do have an unofficial motto around our whole organization, both music and publishing, is that, we're trying to make the little guy look big. And by offering these really high quality professional designs and formatting and beautiful printing and work like that, we think we're achieving that goal.
And so that includes interior formatting and design and book cover design, right?
Correct.
And
It
then also,
also,
I'm kind of reading from the brochure, the downloadable brochure you have here, ebook conversion and
yep,
also distribution.
and 25 printed books plus print on demand distribution as well. I'll tell you what it doesn't include, and there's a reason for that. We strongly believe that every book should be edited. We used to do an ad in the old Writer's Digest, and it was basically a blank page, and it said in there, just in typewriter font, the only page that doesn't need to be edited is blank. So we're strong advocates that editing needs to happen, but we don't bundle it into these packages because no two editing type of jobs are the same, and we don't want to rush people into it. To get their editing done, we offer it, but there are many hundreds of other great editors around the world who we've either worked with or our clients have, and they really need to take their time to make sure their manuscript is in tip-top shape. And that's when we really take over, and that's when we talk to them about all the different services. And by the time they're at the end of process in buying that kind of package, a couple of weeks later, here they are. They're on Amazon and 59 other ebook stores. They're in all the major print-on-demand outlets, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. They're in all the major, wholesale distribution, both Baker and Taylor and our good friends at Ingram. They're really everywhere that a person can go to buy their book, either from a wholesale basis, from a bookstore owner. If they have a friend who has a bookstore right down the block, they don't need to schlep their own books. They can just say, hey, look, buy my book. I'm a local author. You can either buy it from your usual source of either Ingram or Baker and Taylor, however you order your normal books. And they're returnable, by the way, which is a big deal in print on demand. The bookstores need to have that security, knowing that they can return it, and they can absolutely do that, although happy to say that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, no, it's true. So, do you have adjustable discount rates, or how have you figured that?
No, we keep it very simple. Again, most of our authors are really, not affiliated with this world. So we offer the highest possible discount. Now, what does that do? We think it opens the doors for our authors to get them the maximum exposure. So the discount rate is 55%.
That's called the trade discount.
Yes, it is. It's the maximum. Now, some authors who are in higher demand, they can get a little bit more. But we've just taken the posture of, let's make this easy for our authors. It's kind of a no, they don't need to really think about it. This is what the program is, and it gets them involved and gets them started off in this industry.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so doing the math, so they get 45 or
Yep.
minus printing.
Yep.
Costs, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the printing, because honestly, I was there last year for your independent book conference.
Yes.
And you gave me a tour of your facility with all of these beautiful printers. And I have to say, I do recommend your printing often for people who are very picky about the quality of their book, especially color book authors.
Authors need to be picky. This is their baby, right? This is what they've worked and slaved over. So they should be quite demanding of their printer. Specify the paper they want. And we offer about 8 different varieties of the most popular papers, and we get great deals on them because we buy a ton of paper, both for our, both our publishing and our music business as well. And again, the printers we have chosen, we've invested in some amazing Hewlett-Packard 12,000 and 10,000 printers, which are really the best of the best. Digital printing has been around for a while, but some of those first-generation machines that were put in, the Indigos, about 10, 12 years ago, they're kind of at the end of their useful life. And I know in 10 years from now, we'll be replacing the ones we have and going with whatever is the next generation, because we really do believe in investing in great technology for the benefit of our independent content creators, be it musicians who are publishing liner notes or making merch, posters and things like that, or now with our authors getting high quality books.
Great. And so these are laser printers, not inkjet printers, correct?
That is correct.
So
Digital printing.
generally, can you just tell us what are the qualities of inkjet versus laser, and vice versa?
Right. So I've learned a lot about digital printing.
Mhm.
A lot has to do with, really, how you approach printing. Is this something that's going to be an art form, or are you just going to push the paper out the door? Quite frankly, digital printing involves more than just, again, having a wonderful manuscript. Now you got to think about environmental conditions. Is the paper conducive to digital printing? Some are, some aren't. So, and we've gone through a lot of paper tests and done some trial and error. The other interesting thing is humidity plays a factor, of course, but also electrical charge. When a piece of paper goes through a digital printer, it's actually with a little bit of a static type charge goes through there, and that's what adheres the ink or the toner actually to the pages. And we had to spend a lot of time actually retrofitting our factory to make sure that we had the right electrical charge. I had no idea of this kind of stuff, but
What do you have to do? You have to put dehumidifiers in or something?
Oh yeah, actually you need to add humidity near the time of the printing. We have to get our paper in about 4 weeks in advance. We put them in a special curing room so that they're adapted to our conditions. But really, it was the amount of electronic charges. And there are some days in the summer when we have thunderstorms here in southern New Jersey. We actually turn the machines off because we realize, you know what? There's too much electricity in the air. Anything we print today is going to be not good. We're not going to turn them on, and we wait for the weather to pass and for the conditions. We've all learned a ton about printing in the last three or 4 years, and we're thrilled that we're now probably one of the largest book printers in southern New Jersey, if not Atlantic region.
That's kind of crazy. And I know a lot of authors, and me included, who have printed and used the different services and get one book or one shipment one day and a few months another shipment. And I mean, even the printing quality in the same box can look very, very different. Some pages are faded, and I didn't really realize that this was all about humidity and electricity.
It is, and really, no two machines are exactly the right. Now, we have had some agreements in the past with a company that unfortunately went out of business, I think because we yanked their volume away. But, we insisted that they have the same exact digital printers as what we have. We'd ship them the paper that we approve. Really, that kind of attention to detail really matters to the authors that we work with. So there's no surprises when they open up the box. Book number 500 is going to be the same as book number 5,000. That's a real point of pride for us.
That is, yeah. And so how many of your authors are color book authors? What percentage?
Well, when we first got into this, we thought, it's probably going to be 70% black and white, maybe 30% color. Completely wrong. Of course, we could have been wrong by a few points. I would say right now, especially during the fourth quarter, that number is completely reversed. We probably 70% color going through our plant right now, and about 40% of them are hardcover. Once again, I need to look at my hardcover prices. Maybe I'm too cheap, but we produce a ton of hardcover books, especially for our kids' book authors. We're doing a lot of textbooks now. We're doing a lot of specialty, coffee books, which people have really loved our quality in that. But that's not to say we can't do 6x9 trade books as well, and they pump out all day long on our companion machines here, massive Xerox machines that just handle the black and white pages.
Yeah, and I'm looking at your trim sizes. You have everything from the 4-inch and the large square, the 10 by 10. And
yes, that's a very popular one. The 10 by 10 one is really popular, and we offer a lot of these through our print-on-demand program as well. Some, we've tried to have a little bit bigger range than perhaps some of the other folks in that, and we offer hardcover and color printing in that print-on-demand program as well.
So, is the large square 10 by 10 good for kids' books or coffee?
Fantastic for kids' books, for photography books, for cookbooks. We're doing a ton of cookbooks. Man, I saw a sous vide cookbook going through the factory this morning that made me very hungry. So yeah, we're doing a lot of those types of books as well. But again, tomorrow, who knows? It could be memoirs. We do a lot of retired executives' business books. Every day, it's absolutely something new. And be able to walk, about 120 feet from the door of my office to watch this stuff printed in our factory and bound and cut. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. I saw it working. I was impressed.
Good.
Yes.
And I was telling Carla, we've practically outgrown our space that we moved into just 1 year ago. So
yeah, it's hard to believe because that was a big space.
It is.
So this large landscape, I'm kind of drooling over that because you're a travel writer and my photography friends are going to want coffee table books in this large landscape 12:9 format, I think.
And we were going to add some heavier paper stocks as well this fourth quarter, but we were so busy handling our demand. We're also coming out with a dust jacket option as well, beginning early next year. That our authors have really wanted.
That you offer right now?
So really, for our black and white, it's been the 50 and 60 pound text. A lot of 80 pound for our photography books. We're adding 100 pound both matte and gloss beginning of the year. And then again, we've been asked to provide dust jackets for some of our hardcover books, and we're getting involved with that. Doing some tests right now, as a matter of fact. We test everything and do a lot of beta readers and things like that before we offer this to our customers.
Great. So how does one go about working with you? I know I could just pick up the phone and call talk to somebody, which is kind of cool.
It is fun.
It doesn't happen with most other companies.
We have people, I'm looking out my window right now, we have people on the phones from 9 to 5 Eastern Standard or Daylight Time, every day. And they're true publishing experts. We don't do a commission sales type of arrangement here. We do a lot of training for these people. Some of them in fact, I would say probably a third to a half of the people who have come to work at BookBaby are authors on their own right. Some of them even had their own little publishing companies. They were book Sherpas or things like that. So we layer on to that expertise. And by the way, we've learned some things from them as well to really kind of get inside the heads of our authors and try to understand what their wants and needs are. And we've built a lot of guides to help people through. There's one I did a couple of years ago called our 5 steps to self-publishing. There's so much information out there on the web about, how do I publish? And we thought, there's almost too much. Why don't you just stick to these 5 things, which is really about finishing a book, how you're finished, editing your book, got to do that, picking what your cover going to look like, what's your formatting going to look like, what's your distribution plan going to be, and then finally, how do you go about doing some basic marketing? Do you need help? Can you do it yourself? How best can you promote your book?
Those little booklets that you guys put out are really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate those. You can download them on the site and exchange your email address. So we talked about the $14.99 self-publishing package. Yep. So what if I just want an ebook? How about that ebook conversion?
Awesome.
Distribution?
So again, everything we do is a la carte. We're not going to push you into some kind of package of stuff you don't want. You really can pick and choose. Our ebook program is a little bit different. And, yes, we're all aware there are many free options out there. Smashwords, my friend Mark Croker out there does a wonderful job. He was a pioneer. Our friends at Drafted Digital, who, by the way, we refer clients back and forth to them. Very friendly competition.
I love this community. In that
way. I mean, we know they deliver a quality product, and we can send people over there. They are confident in us. We're not going to cheat people. We're not going to take advantage of that. So, but yeah, there are certainly some great free options, even through our friends at Amazon. Not quite free, but kind of people who have the wherewithal to create a great EPUB. What we do for people, though, again, gets back to we work with a lot of people who either don't have the time or really don't have the technical know-how, and so we take a person's file. We love it in the most primitive type of document. Don't give us a PDF because we have to unlock that. A Word document. We've even done ebooks from people who wrote their book in Excel. We were able to take that out and extract that. So we create a really beautiful EPUB file. We do formatting for them. So not only does it render well on every single reader, it's going to look nice. It's going to look beautiful on it. We actually open it up and test it on a whole bunch of readers that we have in here. And we do all the work here. We used to also send that out overseas. But we were not happy with the quality and the communication and the time length. So now you send us your email file, your Word document on a Monday, you have an EPUB proof by about Wednesday. And that's the thing that we do. We send you a
Yeah, I
proof.
saw that in action when I walked
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, he's actually creating an EPUB
Yes.
in HTML, I said. And you said, oh.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Indeed. And we give people a proof, the opportunity to look at it and to review it. I was on the airplane the other day and I was reading on my Kindle from a very well-known famous author, and sure enough, here comes his file, and there were a whole bunch of strange widows and orphans, and it didn't render correctly. And I thought, wow, if a big name author is kind of letting that through, that's not good. So we're, again, 100% confident that we are delivering a tremendously high quality ebook proof. We also offer fixed layout for the iPad as well. Don't do it yet for the Kindle Fire because their technology tends to want to shift and change, and we want to be able to deliver a product that's going to be good today as it will be in 20 years.
It's true. Well, let's talk about that just for just a minute, because I was just talking with some authors that I was working with up in our retreat in Lake Tahoe, and it was like, okay, so they want their fixed layout book on the Kindle and the Kindle Fire and the iPad. I'm like, well, those devices have different aspect ratios.
Yes.
And then Amazon will come out with a new one, and that'll have a different even aspect ratio, and it makes people crazy. So it's tough to do a fixed layout for the Kindle Fire, as popular as it is.
Indeed. And so we stand by everything 100%. We don't feel like we can guarantee that because it's technology that's sort of out of our hands. So we've decided we'll just specialize in the Apple. So,
and I think that Amazon wants you to use their Kindle Kids Book Creator.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, which is free. And
absolutely.
I don't know. It is a moving target.
And that's why we think the Apple environment is so much better for those kinds of books, and I think that's kind of how they've gravitated their business as well. They're sort of the specialists there. All right, so we get the file converted, and you get the chance to proof, and you go back and forth with our designers and our converters. Once you say perfect, then we distribute it out to 59 ebook stores around the world. Not only Amazon, but Barnes & Noble and iBooks and the new Kobo, Walmart.com, where we're actually getting a lot of traffic. A lot of people are buying books there. Yeah. Google, we deliver to Google Play. We deliver to Hoopla, Playster, Bookstore. I've never even heard
a rising star.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's number 6 now on our ebooks being sold. We were stunned how quickly it's arisen. Yeah. And then plus other bookstores around the world, Gardner's, Torino, books in Southeast Asia. So, to really get that international, we think that Amazon, you have to be there, of course. But if you only put your eggs in the Amazon basket, that's only going to be about 60% of your potential audience out there. So get it everywhere.
So let's talk about the commission. Most of the POD creation and distribution companies take a 10 or 15% commission off the top of each sale. So there's zero. They're free to publish on those platforms, to distribute on those platforms. And that's how they make their money.
Yes.
And you have the opposite approach.
We do the opposite. So we charge a fee upfront, which delivers, we think a very high quality product, and they go in there, and then on their ebooks, we collect money on their behalf. As we've done this in our music business for many, many years, we were able to bring over that technology and borrow that. And every Monday morning, we collect the checks from the previous week from Amazon and all the other bookstores, and it's in your account immediately. We don't hold on to it. So if Amazon pays us on a Thursday, which is usually once a month they pay us, the following Monday, that money is deposited in all of our authors' account. And we don't sit on the money. It's available for our authors.
That's nice. I didn't know that. Weekly. That's nice. And you don't take any commission at all.
We take 0% commission.
Costs. Is there a distribution fee? Distributors charge? No.
100% of the net sales go right back to the authors, and that's part of the arrangement. We're going to be here forever. We've been here for 78 years total. When you think about our music business and how it's translated into digital music now, and now into the publishing side. So we view ourselves as a very reliable partner to the to the creative environment.
Yeah, so how did BookBaby start? I remember when it started and how, but maybe you should tell the story now.
So the legend, as the legend goes. So again, our sister company in Portland, Oregon, is called CD Baby. Incidentally, they don't merchandise many CDs anymore. They're very big into digital music, but the name has stuck. You can't change it. So it was about 9 years ago now, and about 25% of all the music back in the day that was on iTunes actually came through CD Baby. All these, thousands and millions actually of independent musicians who upload their music into CD Baby, and CD Baby distributed it out to, this is pre-Spotify time, so it's Apple and Rhapsody and some of the other services. So about 6 weeks before the Apple iPad launched, they got a phone call in Portland, and they said, "Hey guys, I know you're our best friends on the music side. Y'all know anything about ebooks?" And I'm sure there were people nodding their heads and say, "Oh yeah, we know
Sure, we do.
all there is to know about ebooks." And no, really, we didn't. And in fact, I'd like to state publicly, if you were any of the first 500 ebooks that we converted for Apple back in the day, please call me and we will do it again, because God knows they must have been some pretty ugly EPUBs. I'm just gonna come clean right now on that. So when the iPad launched, boom, we knew what we were doing, and we were one of the approved ebook providers for Apple and have been ever since. And so we've gone way beyond doing just work for iBooks. We added Amazon. We were doing all ebooks in Portland, and then we kept hearing about people saying, "You know what? We sure love to print books." And as we're a big printer here of music packaging and other types of materials, we thought, you know what? I bet you we can do book printing. And so 5 years ago, we started with, again, another organization doing it for us. We sent people there to learn. And what has happened with our business over the years, we've said, you know what? We can do this, and we can maybe even do it better. So that's when we started investing millions of dollars into these beautiful Hewlett-Packard printers and the best bindery equipment and cutters and stackers and all kinds of things to make incredibly high-quality books. Our motive getting into it is we're going to become a real full-service destination for an author. They're going to be able to come to us and really get almost anything they really need to get their book on the marketplace, from editing, and now we're dabbling in. So we're doing Facebook ads for our authors on sort of a beta test, and it's going extremely well so far. So
Yeah, you have the great designers for them.
we do. Yes.
And when you use BookBaby to self-publish, they get a sales page for the book, do you?
They do.
Or
It's
is
called
that with any package or any service?
any book in distribution gets their own e-commerce page. One of the revolutionary things about independent music was when artists found out that they could actually sell directly to their fans. They didn't need to go through the record label or even the record stores or through agents and publicists and blah, blah. No, they could sell direct to their fans. And so we sort of had that advantage with this knowledge of the music business, and we've been encouraging the direct-to-reader transaction. And that's what Bookshop is all about. At a time when Amazon is emailing us, telling us, a lot of your books in main print on demand are going to be out of stock this Christmas, because Amazon, to its credit, they don't list any book in stock unless the book is actually sitting there in the warehouse. Well, starting about now, there's about a mile-long line of semi-trucks backing up to all the distribution centers, putting in dishwashers and PlayStations, and, oh, by the way, your books. And what Bookshop does, since we're the printer and we're also hosting the store, somebody goes into Bookshop and orders a book. Well, they're guaranteed to be in stock, because guess what? I just got to walk over to our printer and say, make one of those. Boom, ship it out the door. So, having this guaranteed in-stock status of Bookshop is going to be increasingly important there, especially as the holidays near. The other thing about Bookshop for our printed book on demand is we offer some pretty darn high royalties. Now, when you get print on demand through Amazon, and anyway, nobody's getting rich, because there's a lot of fingers in that pie. There's the printer, there's Amazon, there's the distributor, things like that. So you're getting between 10, 12, maybe 15% royalties on your book being sold that way. With Bookshop, well, we've cut out the middleman literally, because you're selling direct to your readers. So we offer every single printed book, softcover, hardcover, whatever, photography, you get 50% of the actual selling price of the royalty. So if it's a $20 book, you're going to get $10 in your account that following Monday. Oh, by the way, we don't sit on the money either. Somebody buys the book on Thursday, the money is in your account the following Monday.
Nice. Yeah, and that's you can set that up yourself, right?
Yep.
And generate a link as
Yep.
well
All kinds of
for
toys.
your
You can
website.
coupon. You can coupon. Yeah, we can customize the pages. We're going to be adding a lot more to that in the next year or so. That's one area of expansion. Our authors are loving that.
Yeah. And you can look at a sample page on the bookbaby.com website too.
Yes, we
There's a
can.
lot to look at on this website. I have to
There
say,
is.
it's like, wow.
We built a lot into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of really pretty color books and a learning tab that will help
Yeah.
as well with the free guides, which I encourage people to download.
We do feel the responsibility. We've been a trusted name in the music business because we've always been a helpful voice there, and we brought that over into our publishing. So we really kind of feel an obligation to help authors learn how to publish and not to give them, not to overpromise things, but to really give them the straight information of, hey, this is what it's going to take, and it's not an easy business to be in. But
No.
we're finding now that self-published authors are gaining momentum. We saw on Jeff Bezos did his annual stockholders letter a few months ago, and he said that over 1,000 self-published authors made over $100,000 of sales in 2017. So 1,000 authors, not from the big five or anybody like that. 1,000 of them made over $100,000 in self-published sales. And another stat I just saw from our friend, a data guy from authorernies.com, he was talking about of the top 1,000 ebooks sold in 2017, 28% of them came from complete self-published authors, people who had never been on there and debuted basically at that high level. So, the numbers are turning in favor. And again, it's not going to be an easy journey, but it's also not an impossible dream.
It is actually.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess in closing, I hope we haven't missed anything. You can jump in if we have, but I don't know, in your years now of heading up BookBaby, do you have any special advice that you want to give every author?
Yes. There's one that I'm ending every presentation or talk, and it comes down to the 3 P's. So this podcast is brought to you by the letter P in the Sesame Street parlance, but no, you got to have 3 things if you want to succeed. And this is a kid's book author, a memoirist, a photographer, whatever. You need 3 things. Patience, number 1. We do not offer a rush service on our website because anytime we thought about doing that, we realized haste makes waste. You've got to have the patience and do it right. Number 2, you've got to have perseverance. You've really got to work your way through this, knowing that every day is a step forward. You've got to keep at it, nose to the grindstone, get the book done, get the editing done, choose your distribution, lather, rinse, repeat. And then the third thing is, there's no magic bullet, silver bullet, or whatever you want to call it for marketing. It's perspiration. You've really got to go out there and sweat. Unless you have a big bankroll and you can pay some other people to do it, which we don't have many authors who fit that category, they've got to go out there and either learn to do it or gather some information from other authors. But really, it's patience, perseverance, perspiration. That's what's needed.
Great. Yeah, I agree with that. What is that quote? Do something you fear every day.
Yes, exactly. It's right. Indeed.
Yeah, and it can be done, and there are so many good models.
Yeah, and as you were saying, this community is open, and they're happy to share what has worked for them. It's really remarkable how open and honest and sharing these people are, and don't be afraid to ask. Reach out to people.
Most of us have been in the same situation. Lots of artists and authors and people who have gone through their own struggles in this business.
Indeed.
Well, thank you, Stephen. I'm really glad to have you. And
Carla, it's been fun. All right, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Author Friendly Podcast, and I hope you'll subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Also, go check out selfpubbootcampcourses.com and poke around. There are some free lessons for you in there. Have you got a suggestion for a guest or a company that you want to hear about? Go to selfpubbootcamp.com and hit the contact form and let me know. Until next week, this is Carla King signing off of the Author Friendly Podcast. Thanks.